Oh, oh,
Come on, get out the car.
you gotta get out the car now.
Oh my God, like why the would you do that? Girl.
Gary, get in the car. Gary, get in the car! Get
Give
it!
me my purse. Give me my phone. My purse is in here. Like why the would you do that? Give me my phone.
Your phone, here's your phone, here's your phone. Here's your phone.
My phone is right
Okay. Goodbye.
Gladys was only 28 years old when she died. She had not yet reached the age where people begin to feel settled in life, yet she had already taken on her greatest role, that of a mother. 3 young children called her mommy, depending on her for comfort, direction, and love. She was someone who, according to her family, lived for her kids. They were her reason for everything. Friends described her as the life of the party. Not in the sense of recklessness, but in the sense of spirit. She carried joy with her and shared it freely. A laugh that carried across rooms. A presence that made other people feel lighter. She was known to help anyone who needed it. If you needed a meal, Gladys would share hers. If you needed a couch to crash on, she would open her door. Even when she was struggling in her own life, she reached for others first. But behind every joyful smile is the truth that life isn't easy. Gladys had her struggles, her family didn't deny that, but she faced them with strength, and she always put her children first. On July 23, 2022, that strength would not be enough. The story begins in Miami, a city built on contrasts. Neon lights blaze against humid night air. Expensive cars glide past sidewalks crowded with tourists in sandals. South Beach in particular is a place of indulgence. Music spills from clubs on Ocean Drive, cocktails line tabletops, and strangers gather to dance as if the night will never end. The Clevelander Hotel and Bar is one of those iconic spots, a magnet for visitors and locals alike. On the evening of July 22, 2022, it's where 2 groups of people crossed paths, one that included Gladys, another that included a 24-year-old woman named Natalia Harrell. According to witness statements later given to police, Harrell and some friends were approached by men who asked if they had other female friends to bring along. They showed them Gladys's social media profile and suggested she join. Eventually, the 2 women connected and ended up at the same venues that night. From the Clevelander, the group moved to a second location, the Urban, an entertainment space in Miami's Overtown neighborhood. At first glance, it was just another night. Drinks, music, dancing. But under the surface, something was brewing. One witness later told detectives that at the Urban, Harrell grew frustrated with Gladys. She thought Gladys was drinking and dancing too much. The witness claimed Harrell sent a text during the night asking someone to get her girl under control. To those around them, the tension may not have seemed like more than a disagreement. Nights out often come with raised voices, disagreements, even spats between friends. But this one would not fizzle out. Sometime around 2 in the morning, the group decided to leave. They ordered an Uber Black, a Cadillac Escalade. 7 people piled in, Gladys, Harrell, and 5 others. What happened inside that SUV would be captured forever by the vehicle's cameras. According to the arrest warrant, an argument broke out between Gladys and Harrell. Police say the video shows the exchange becoming heated. Harrell eventually shifted into the front seat of the vehicle. But instead of disengaging, she turned to face the others. "You don't want this," she said, according to police reports. "You don't want me to go in my purse." It was a threat, a warning. Seconds later, Harrell reached into her bag. She pulled out a firearm. Police say she fired once. The bullet struck Gladys Borcela. The sound of a single gunshot shattered the enclosed space of the SUV. Panic erupted. The Uber driver, startled and terrified, immediately pulled the vehicle to the side of the road near Southeast 1st Avenue and 1st Street. Then came the chaos. Police records say that 6 people, including Harrell, ran from the vehicle. Gladys was left behind, gravely wounded. Emergency services were called. Paramedics rushed her to Jackson Memorial Hospital, Miami's largest trauma center. Doctors tried to save her, but by morning, Gladys was pronounced dead. For her family, the news was devastating. One moment, Gladys was alive, vibrant, and full of energy. The next, she was gone. Her 3 children, too young to even fully understand, were suddenly without their mother. They would grow up with photographs, with memories relayed through stories, but without her presence. No bedtime hugs, no morning routines, no milestones shared. In the days that followed, the community gathered. A vigil was held. Purple balloons filled the sky, candles burned as family and friends stood together in grief. Her mother spoke through tears, describing her daughter as someone who was always there for others. A GoFundMe established by relatives called Gladys, the life of the party, emphasizing her generosity and her devotion to her children. She always held her hand out for anyone that needed her, it read. She put her 3 beautiful children first. Now they have to grow up and only hear of memories of their beautiful mother. Those words capture the heart of what was lost. Meanwhile, the justice system began its process. Within days, police arrested Natalia Hurl. She was charged with second-degree murder. According to court filings, she was ordered held without bond. But while the arrest was swift, the trial process was not. As of now, no jury verdict has been reached. The case has wound its way through hearings and procedural delays. For Gladys's family, each postponed date is another wound. They attend court not only to see justice served, but also to stand for Gladys, to make sure her name is not forgotten. And yet, justice has not been delivered. This case is about more than one night. It's about the fragility of safety in everyday situations. Think about it. An Uber ride is supposed to be safe, a neutral space between destinations. But on that July night, it became the scene of murder. It forces us to ask hard questions. How can an argument between acquaintances escalate so far, so fast? How could one decision to carry a gun into a party, to bring it into a rideshare, alter so many lives forever? Miami is no stranger to crime, but cases like this resonate deeply because of the ordinariness of the setting. A rideshare, a night out, a young mother. Perhaps the heaviest weight falls on Gladys's children. 3 young lives now grow up without their mother's guidance. Every birthday, every holiday, every graduation will carry her absence. Instead of hearing her laugh in the audience, they will look for her in memory. Her family has stepped in to care for them, but nothing can replace the bond between a mother and her children. They are the ones who live daily with the consequences of a single gunshot fired in anger. The community around Gladys has tried to keep her memory alive. Vigils, fundraisers, and social media tributes remind the world that she was more than a victim. She was a person, loved and cherished. Purple balloons, candles, photos, and prayers have become symbols of remembrance. And still, the community waits for closure from the legal system. When we talk about crime, it's easy to focus on numbers, charges, and verdicts. But behind every case is a person whose life mattered. Gladys was more than a statistic. She was a mother, a friend, a light in her family's life. Her death is a reminder of how quickly anger can turn into irreversible violence, of how one decision can ripple outward, leaving devastation in its wake. Her family's grief is endless, her children's loss is permanent, and the community's demand for justice continues. Her name was Gladys Borcela. She was 28 years old. She was loved. She mattered. On a night that began with music and dancing, she never made it home. A single argument, one warning, one gunshot, and 3 children were left without their mother. The legal system still moves forward slowly toward accountability. But for her family, no verdict will ever restore what was lost. Gladys's story is not just about her death. It is about her life. The laughter, the generosity, the devotion to her children. It is about remembering her as she was, not just as a victim. This is her story.